Hello, everyone. I'm Anna Donge, and welcome to another interview with one of our wonderful cannabis industry power players. Today, I am sitting down with Lonny Branson, aka Lonny The Street Lawyer, a criminal defense attorney and cannabis brand owner. Welcome, Lonny. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Anna. I'm honored to be here and can't wait to share this information.
Yeah, we're very excited to hear your perspectives. So I want to just start off by asking how and when you decided to become involved in the cannabis industry. Was the decision somehow connected to your experience in criminal law?
Thank you. Great question. So I was a criminal defense attorney for 16 years in D.C., Maryland, and all I did was people who were charged with crimes, I defended them however I could. Throughout that time as well, I was a personal consumer of cannabis. Always loved it. It always made me feel great. And I always thought it was also a great substitute for harder drugs and alcohol. From being a criminal defense attorney, one thing you notice is that consequences are very real. And people are getting put away for a long time and having their lives upturned in just such a destructive way. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's innocent, but even if they're not, it's too brutal, too draconian, especially for the drug cases.
So what is your perspective then on the MRTA? Because I believe one of the consequences of the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act was to expunge some of those criminal records. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's really one of the most important pieces because, again, the reality is it's not that our prisons are filled with marijuana convicts. Right now, that's not the case. There are some people still, obviously, but that is not the major concern. Now it's the people with all that on their record. Not only have a lot of people pled out to minor distribution cases just to avoid the jail time and get it over with because nobody really cared, but they still pled to it. You see what I mean? So now they got that on their record. We need to expunge that. It's a super important piece, and we just got to keep talking about it because that is the stain that people are walking around with. And they're walking around with this stain like marijuana. Like, I don't care about marijuana. The other guy's like, I don't care about marijuana. Nobody cares about marijuana, but you're not getting the job because this is on your record. And nobody cares. So that's an important piece because people's well-being is important. They need to, people who are charged with crime dismissed, they don't know how to go about expungement. They don't know. A million people don't know in this country how to do that.
Right.
So that's a big issue.
Tell us a little bit more about your business, because I believe you're also a cannabis brand owner. Is that correct?
That's my main thing now. So I did that for 16 years, and I met a lot of people. And I was into cannabis myself. I was a consumer. I was always interested in it, and I was going through a personal thing in my life where I was kind of looking for a new path. And this was presented to me. I saw in 2016 in Washington D.C. weed became legal to buy, legal to grow, legal to possess up to 2 ounces, legal to gift, so you could give it to a friend, so you could smoke freely and enjoy it, but you can't buy or sell. There's no recreational market unless you have a medical card. So what happened in DC, something similar that's happening in New York right now, is illegal to buy, illegal to possess, so I can have it anywhere, cops can't bust me. I can give it to a friend in front of a cop, nothing's gonna happen. So a gifting economy formed where people would sell something else and gift marijuana. So this was going on. There were pop-ups everywhere in DC because it was legal. I mean, lines around the block. It was huge, cannabis brands everywhere. And they would rent out spaces, lounges, warehouse, a pop-up vending party, which they have everywhere in the country now. But it was just very commonplace. And then some of the guys were doing well. And they said, you know what? Why don't I just get a brick and mortar and do the same thing? So brick and mortar started popping up everywhere, and they were either, selling whatever, digital art, T-shirts, and gifting marijuana. And we rented a little space on the second floor of a recording studio in DC, and we started marketing it. When people started coming in, it was like so much love. Like you've never seen a business like this. I mean, people come in so excited, self-care, take care of themselves. People come in, bodybuilder, health conscious people. These aren't like the dregs of these are not the dregs of the society. I mean, some of them look like Olympic athletes. I swear they walk out. I'm like, what is your workout program?
What I'm hearing from you, and what's also been echoed from other people I've spoken to, is the sense of community in the cannabis industry, and how it really is about connecting with people and forming those personal relationships and being rooted in your community.
Yeah.
I think that's really exciting for an industry, and not every industry is like that at all.
No, there's something about cannabis that helps that facilitates that. There's something about the actual product and substance that helps with that. But
Even
so,
this even this gifting economy that you talk about too kind of facilitates those relationships too, right? Because if that's the way that you share in the product, I mean, it kind of is built in that you form those relationships.
exactly. Well, we all have that in common. We all love the product, and because it makes us feel good, and it brings harmony, it brings people together.
So in that case, New York City is known for its culture and is known for all of these different productions, and there's so much to do here. So how do you see the cannabis industry interacting with art and with music and with those different sectors in New York?
Absolutely, because New York is so vibrant, it's got all of that. And I mean, just a hungry populace, hungry for cannabis. Wow, they want cannabis. I don't blame them one bit. And it's the most exciting thing. I mean, the vibe there, it's they're hungry for it. They're hungry for the community of it. They're hungry for the proliferation and branding of it and the culture of it.
So I'll wrap up because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but what are you most looking forward to in 2022? Is there one thing in particular that you are really excited for?
So I have a shop in Miami, DC, and now New York. Yeah, 2022 for me is all about New York right now. What I'm excited about is the growth of the brand within New York and the growth of the community. So 2022, you're going to see me in New York all the time.
Definitely. Well, we're definitely going to be watching. So thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you,
time
Anna.
and joining me. It's been such a wonderful conversation. And
It has. I
well,
appreciate you.
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on you.
Of course.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care.